This is a mirror blocks. It's complicated because instead of different colors, each element has a different size. The difficulty lies in the fact that when we scramble this cube, it looks just incredible. And the more movements we make, the harder it is to put it back together. But there is also a smaller mirror blocks, 2 by 2. Here's the same story, different sizes of elements and no similar pairs. Even though in scrambled form, it also looks wild. But in today's video, I wanna show you hard, almost impossible mirror blocks 4 by 4, which will be incredibly difficult to solve. And that's not all, because I have something special for dessert, 5 by 5 mirror blocks. No manufacturer produces such a cube, so this cube is printed on a 3D printer. And to solve this monster is absolutely impossible. Well, let's start with the regular 2 by 2 cube and increase difficulty level gradually. Just a few turns. So, let's try to solve it. Of course, starting the timer to see how fast I can do it. Here we go. The first thing I want to do is to find that square cube. And I understand that there will be 3 similarly wide elements around it. This one is one of them. And this is how we connect it. By accident I got another half of the cube. Yeah, this is a feature of 2 by 2 cube. It solves quite easily, sometimes. This element is the only one that is in place right now. But if I turn it, its position changes. So let's try to flip them over. We can do one of the simplest algorithms here and let's see what happens. We already have this part, all that remains is to flip these 2 elements, and in addition to turning them over, they also need to be swapped, because I see that this one should be exactly here. How can we do that? Yeah, I swapped them, and now I have to turn them over. Something is wrong here? It can't happen on the regular cube that one corner is turned upside down. Let's think about it. No matter how we turn this corner, it would always stay in the same place. We can flip this one paired with the other, and we have such algorithms, so 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we put everything back using the turn from this corner. And the cube is solved! 2 minutes and 13 seconds. To be honest, I did this for the first time in my life. That's why the result is like this. But I am sure it will be more interesting to look at the 3 by 3 cube. Because unlike a 2 by 2, there is no symmetrical elements and every one of them has a unique shape. There are no similar ones. Scrambling. Gosh, it sounds so good. The 3 by 3 mirror blocks is more popular, so it's much easier to solve it, just by using the beginner's method of solving 3 by 3. By the way, if you don't know how to solve 3 by 3 Rubik's Cube, be sure to visit our channel, subscribe and watch the tutorial. Start. The first thing I do is solving a cross, combining the elements not by color, but by shape. This is what a finished cross looks like. Now let's move on to the corners. 1. Next, this corner should be here. Or no, here. And here we're gonna put it with the edge. Good. And here we're also putting it in the place with the edge. Great, only the second layer left. Wow, very quickly we got a large part of the cube solved, and the most difficult part, the last layer. Last turns. Stop. About the same time, about 2 minutes, even a little faster than the previous 2 by 2 cube. But this means that this cube is really easier for me to handle, because I just know how to solve it. And I've been doing it for probably the 100th time. Well, the next monster I haven't solved that often and, to be honest, haven't held in hands that often. This is a huge 4x4 cube, and it's mirrored. If in regular 4x4 cube we pay attention to the colors, but here it is very difficult to distinguish the elements by size. If you want to support me, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also write in the comments how much you think it will take me to solve these 4x4 mirror blocks. It looks incredible. Okay. Start. Pretty simple. I already have 3 elements of the center here. The task is to find the 4th element. I see that there is a tall element, and if we put it here, we see that it doesn't fit. Finding the right size is the difficulty here. Oh, this one is probably the right one. Yep, the first one is ready. Okay, the centers are solved. Look, all the 4 elements in the center of each face are the same. But it does not mean that they are all in their places. To do this, we need to solve the edges. For example, like here, if we were lucky and one edge is correctly paired. Thus, we need to solve all 12 edges on this cube. Let's try it. Well, for example, I see 2 ribs that are approximately the same size. At least I hope so. I'll try to put them side by side. To do this, I make this movement, already breaking out the corners, but don't worry, I'll bring them back together. And those are correct edges. No, they are not. Look how tricky it is. They are literally millimeter different in size. Oh gosh, this is going to be very difficult. But them seems to match. Turn in. Great, another edge is ready. Are they the same? No, on the one side they're at the same size, but on the other they're completely different. It's so hard to navigate here. Oh, I found it. 4 edges have been solved. It looks more or less structured, a little less chaos on this cube. And it took a while, 4 minutes! Wow, look at that. Now this 4x4 cube looks like a fully scrambled 3x3. That is, we have the center solved, the edges solved, and the corners standing alone. Everything seems to fit, except for the single center. For some reason, this center does not match, but I can see that this edge is perfectly sized to match the center on top. This means that I need to swap those 2 centers. To do this, I change half a center and another half a center, and it worked. And the next challenge. My solved angle fits to the side, to the edge, but does not fit to the neighboring side at all. So the entire side must be replaced with this one. Okay, the first layer is ready. Look at that. I love it when you can see the progress. That's it. The 4x4 is solved, but there is one thing. This is a special situation with 4x4s, which is very difficult to solve. I can't believe it. Yes, 11:53. Ooh, it was much more difficult. But what can I say? The usual solving of ordinary cubes is just many times easier when you know algorithms. But there, even when you know how to solve cubes, and solved much more difficult ones before, it's almost impossible to navigate here, because I just not able to see the colors. And now it's time to solve the monster of today's video. It's a 5x5 cube. Just look at it, it even looks huge. And I'm a little scared to scramble it. Nevertheless, we will do it. It will be even more difficult to find the right element. But friends, just for your sake, I'm gonna try. So, wish me luck. And start. I can already see that there are at least 4 elements of the same height. My mistake was that while I started to solve the second center, I broke the one I had solved at the start. And yay, all the centers are solved. Yeah, that was not easy. It took me 3 minutes, and now perhaps the most interesting part, the edges. Really? This is probably the most difficult challenge I've ever done. I've been trying to find the one element I need for 3 minutes. Oh, it is difficult. Besides solving and looking for each edge, I have to control what I have already solved, just not to break it all. It's not easy to keep attention on all of this, and even holding it is hard. My hands are kinda numb, but I hope I can still solve these incredibly complicated 5x5 mirror blocks. Everything happens quite quickly, and look. At the 10th minute, I have already reached the 3x3 stage. Now this cube looks like a 3x3. There are just a few minutes left. Almost all corners are in place.
Zeg.
Okay, faster, faster. Yeah. Not this way. Oh, it's in place. Next one, over here. Not there, gosh. What is it? It looks like the same size, but the edge went the wrong way. There you go. Here again, the same problem. It's slowing me down. How is it possible? Okay. The last stage. I can't believe I will solve it faster than the previous one. Yes. Like this. Stop. 11:56. Just imagine, I solved these 5x5 mirror blocks for the same time as the 4x4 cube, even though they are really not the same in difficulty. They are completely different. This one is much harder to solve because it has way more elements. Accordingly, it takes much more time to find them. But look, with my experience, I managed to make a 2x2 cube. Then 3x3, 4x4 and 5x5 was solved very quickly. And I think this is a real record. You can congratulate me on this in comments and write which one of these cubes you would like to solve yourself. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to your support, I was able to solve this cube in record time. My name is Cubastic. See you on the channel. Bye.